to be able to speak truth, which is the foundation for justice. I'm attorney Ben Crump, along with my co-counsel, a brilliant young civil rights lawyer, attorney Harry Daniels, and attorney Sue Ann Robinson, and attorney Gabrielle Higgins. We have the honor of representing multiple citizens here in Duval County. And thank God, Attorney Daniels, that we're not here talking about wrongful deaths at the hands of those who are supposed to protect and serve them. But what we're going to show you today is the pattern and practice that leads to the wrongful death of citizens. We're going to make a prima facie showing, Senator Hill, of video evidence of excessive force, brutal force, unconstitutional force that is not condemned at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. It is condoned. And when they condone it, then in essence, they are saying that it is our pattern, it is our practice, it is our policy to allow our officers to use excessive brutality on black citizens. I mean, don't take our word for it. We don't have to say no more. We just want you to watch the video. We have the honor of representing the victims of this police brutality. And I call it an honor because regardless of what they have alleged to have done, they are still American citizens, and they have a right to have the Constitution apply to them. And so when we say it's an honor to represent the victims, what we're really saying, it is an honor to defend the Constitution of the United States here in Jacksonville, Florida. Last time we checked, Jacksonville was still part of the United States of America, despite all of the unconstitutional acts that are being condoned. We have Dasaun Williams, the young man who we have seen in the video, and I think everybody, not just in Jacksonville, Attorney Daniels, but everybody across America, Pastor McKee, Dr. Newman, they have seen this video of this young man, and don't take Ben Crump's word for it. Watch the video for yourself. I mean, he doesn't resist. He complies. And that what they say, Senator Hill, just comply. Well, he complies. Mr. Milker, he complies. And yet, they have him on the ground face down, and they kick him repeatedly while he's face down. Not a threat to anyone. And then they punch him at least 6 to 7 times, kick him at least 3 times, breaks his jaw, causes him to vomit, causes him to have a puddle of blood under his face. And this is a person who is complying. The police cannot be the ones who break the law if they want to be the example of how to uphold the law. We don't need outlaws. What we need is law enforcement who respect the Constitution. So you're going to hear from his mother, but also Attorney Daniels and Alfonso McClendon, my investigator, was showing me another video that is equally disturbing. The video of Travis Brinkley that has been released to some of you today, and you see the exact same pattern and practice of brutality at the hands of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office deputies. I mean, you have Mr. Brinkley, who is unarmed and compliant, and the officer just unloads on him, punch after punch after punch after punch after punch, while he is face down, knocks his tooth out of his mouth. I could see if there was evidence on the video where somebody's life was in danger, where there was a threat. But Dasaun Williams was unarmed, Travis Brinkley was unarmed, and you all know William McNeil was unarmed, a college student who they busted his window. And so we have Exhibit A, B, and C. Jacksonville, how many more exhibits do you have to see before you say, we will not allow the sheriff's office to engage in excessive force? We will not allow the sheriff's office to violate the Constitution against our citizens. We will not allow the sheriff's department to have a pattern and practice of excessive brutality against black citizens. How long, Jacksonville? How many more exhibits, Jacksonville? I know that you see the videos. Don't turn away. Ask for accountability. In fact, demand accountability. You have that right to say that we expect our law enforcement community to be able to build trust with the community. It starts with transparency, but you must have accountability, and that is the only way you get to trust. And again, you don't have to say no more. Just everybody watch the video. Just watch the video. Watch the video. Don't take our word for it. They try to say that Attorney Daniels, Attorney Robinson, and I are exaggerating. Watch the video. And imagine if that was your child, if that was your loved one, if that was you. But by the grace of God, it could be so many citizens in Jacksonville. You say, oh, well, it's not my family. Well, Senator Hill, I tell them, keep walking and driving and breathing in Jacksonville. It could be you up here with Attorney Crump and Attorney Daniels. And before it comes to your doorstep, let's do something about it. Let's be a beloved community where we can say, no more JSO, no more video JSO, no more brutality JSO, no more racial profiling JSO, no more cops killing people unjustly JSO, no more JSO, no more, no more. At this time, he's been fighting these battles a lot by himself, but I'm honored to stand with my good Omega brother who, as I said, has been a tireless civil rights champion, especially here in Jacksonville, saying that we can't look away. We have to do something about this. We have to file lawsuits. We have to take depositions. We have to get discovery because, like the great Ida B. Wells said, we have to document the atrocities and the abuse. And as Ida B. Wells said, I mean, this is our legacy, to live up to the courage of Ida B. Wells, the great journalist who said the killers write the police reports. They can't be the only one writing the reports. We too have to document it. We have to tell what we saw. And thank God for technology because we see it. And when Attorney Daniels sees it, he doesn't look away. So I give you my co-counsel, my brother, Attorney Harry Daniels.
Thank you, Attorney Crump. You know, they say once is a happenstance, twice is coincidence, 3 times is an enemy action. Me and Attorney Crump, we go all over the United States of America, and we deal with these type of cases, law enforcement misconduct and other type of cases, civil rights violations. And I can unequivocally say from the Pacific to the Atlantic, from the Mississippi Delta to the Great Lakes of Michigan, Jacksonville is the worst sheriff office when it comes to use of force against the citizens in Duval County, unequivocally. The reason why is because they have policies that allow their officers to engage in these actions. It's not just these officers that's doing these, that's rogue officers. They have policies they've got in play where they're allowed to have distractionary strikes. Have policy where they don't allow, the officers don't have to report the use of force on, when they use of force against individuals, so long as a person don't claim that they're injured or taken to the hospital. This is a pattern and practice that have gone on for a long time here in Jacksonville, Florida. When you see these videos with Mr. Williams, Dasaun, it's indefensible, it's unjustifiable, but we probably have the state's attorney to give a brief and try to justify it. We have law enforcement officers here on this platform. I worked in law enforcement myself. One thing in the state of Florida, Georgia, Alabama, which is encompassed in the 11th Circuit of the United States of America, Circuit Court, you cannot tase a person for passive resistance. Meaning you cannot tase a person, you tell them put their hands up and they don't. You got to at least try to make them put their hands up. If they don't, then you can tase them. In Mr. Williams' position, he was not doing anything. They asked him to stop, he stopped and turned around, and not one taser being, 2 tasers, 100,000 volts going through his body. How can he move his body? How can he resist when you got 100,000 volts going through his body at one time? The taser policy manual tells you that you cannot, it's against policy to have more than one taser. He's tasing, being kicked in the head used as a soccer ball. We had a case in California where the officer got 4 years in a federal prison for doing the exact same thing that's happening in Jacksonville, Florida. We got other officers right up the road in Camden County have been convicted and sent to federal prisons for the same thing happened in Duval County. Sheriff Office, Jacksonville Sheriff Office, punched multiple times. The video speaks for itself. You don't have to believe Attorney Crump, myself, believe your own eyes. Believe your own eyes. We ask you to do that when you have an individual punch, knee, and kick, vomiting and blood on the street. It doesn't matter what he's accused of, because in these United States, you are innocent until proven guilty. But the way they beat him as though he was guilty of everything they charged him with. And even if you are found guilty, Dr. Newsom, they have the 6th Amendment against cruel and unusual punishment. 8th Amendment against cruel and unusual, thank you, Attorney Crump. You still can beat him. So we got Mr. Brinkley over here. Come on, Mr. Brinkley, come step inside me. Mr. Brinkley, we just released this video today. Same exact thing. Same exact pattern. Same exact practice. He's on his stomach, got his hands behind his back. And I want you to take note when y'all see this video of Mr. Brinkley. The officer who was there with Mr. Brinkley wasn't striking him. It was an officer who rolled on scene and began to punch Mr. Brinkley. Listen very closely to the video, because you may hear something else on that video, what was said. Listen closer to it. And we all know William McNeil, his story, as Attorney Crump put it. And it's currently litigation. He won't be asking any questions this time. But this is a pattern and practice. I talked to John Burris, Attorney Burris, who's the godfather of police litigation. Attorney Crump and I mentor, who handled the Rodney King matter. When he looked at this video of your son, he said, remind him of the beating of Rodney King. beating Rodney King. Only thing difference that it was not as long as Rodney King. And this is a matter that needs urgency. This is something that, as the citizens of Duval, Jacksonville, you know, we can stand here. I've been in this position before. Dr. Newman can tell you, we stand in the same pulpit and at the same press conference. What is enough is enough. I can file every lawsuit. We can file every lawsuit. We can win millions and millions of dollars. Blood is still in the streets in Jacksonville. The way we stop the blood in the streets of Jacksonville, that y'all go to the polls. And listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm not going to change my position. It is time for a change in administration. You have to change the head of this organization in order for it to get better. With that being said, who we bringing up?
She's going to bear her heart, but she's a mother. And so she won't be like the lawyers who know exactly the things to say, but she's going to bear her heart. Because, you know, we don't need to say no more. Just watch the video.
Watch the video.
Watch the video.
Watch the video.
Listen.
You don't need to say no more. Watch the video. We don't need to say no more. Watch the video. We don't need to say no more. Watch the video. We don't need to say no more. Watch the video. No more, JSO. No more. Miss Deonka Gordon, the mother of Dasaun Williams, is going to advocate for her son because he is not able to advocate for himself today. God knows what they're doing to him. If you watch what they did to him on the video, you understand why she's concerned, why he's in the custody of JSO. So let's keep her in prayer and let's bring up Miss Deonka Gordon, the mother of Dasaun Williams. And then Attorney Daniels will come back and present another client.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I hate to come stand before y'all in this position because I don't wish this on no mother. Not a black mother, not a white mother of any race.
Yes, ma'am.
When brutality is used, unuseful, unnecessary force in that matter, you are becoming the judge, the jury, and the executioner. You're not just the police officers that's supposed to perform the job of arresting the citizens. My son was beaten brutally for a crime that he shouldn't have been being beaten for. He should have just been arrested. Been arrested and taken down and stood before a judge and a jury to convict him of whatever crimes that he committed. It's not for JSO officers to take it upon themselves to pass down the law.
Kick 'em.
You can't kick nobody when they're down and they're not resisting. My son didn't utter a word, not one word, in disrespect and resistance to the violence that he received from JSO.
Yes, ma'am.
It was one officer in specific who kneed my son in his face, in his head, punched him in his face, in his head. My son vomited. He could have died at that scene, and neither officer gave a care. They did not care what they were doing to my son. It could have been anybody's son, not just mine. It could have been a mother. It could have been a father. It could have been a husband. It could have been anybody's family members that this injustice happened to. When we have a sheriff that advocates for the public to comply with his officers, to not resist with his officers, and to see the video of my son not saying not one word in resistance, not making no actions or no moves in resistance, to be met with that brutal force, where's the justice for him? Where's the justice for the other people who may not have the brave heart to come and stand before you guys to say anything about what happened to them? I'm speaking for everybody, those who have closed mouths and those who will open their mouths. I will not keep my mouth closed for y'all to keep beating people When you took that job, you took an oath to do your job to the best of your abilities. You were not deemed to be a judge, or you were not deemed to be a jury. You're deemed to be a police officer to arrest when the crime is being committed, to set that person in front of a judge, to be judged in front of a judge and a jury. You cannot take the law into your own hands.
Amen.
When you put on that uniform, you put on that uniform to perform a job and do it to the best of your abilities.
Amen. Thank you very much, Ms. Gordon. And it was deep, Attorney Daniels, as you come back up. It's deep what she said. She said you have a sheriff that encourages the public to comply with their officers. Well, when you look at the video of Dasaun Williams, he's complying. What more could he have done? He complied, but that wasn't enough.
Exactly.
Mr. Brinkley, he complied, right, Attorney Daniels? But apparently that's not enough. There is a policy and practice of police brutality in Jacksonville Sheriff's Office that must be confronted. Dr. Newman, if we don't confront evil, then we condone it. And we're not condoning any of these excessive, brutal, unconstitutional uses of force inflicted on our people. We confront it, and we confront it head high with our eyes wide open, because that is what the legacy of the fight for freedom has been for our people. No more, JSO, no more. Attorney Daniels?
And one, these are captured on body cameras. For you to beat somebody with a body camera on, they tell you really don't care.
Yeah, that part.
I get in the Rodney King, the guy had the video camera hidden somewhere. The body camera is right there on your person, and you still beat him. They let you know that it's a custom policy, that they don't care because they believe nothing's going to happen to them, and nothing is happening to them.
Nothing.
Because they get to investigate themselves. And when they go to the state's attorney's office, you have people in the state's attorney's office that married to the sheriff's office.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mr.
Exactly.
Another incident, Mr. Brinkley, he's gonna come up and speak. That video is out. Y'all should be able to see that video where Mr. Brinkley was laying face down, as Attorney Crump mentioned. Officer gets out of the car and began to pummel Mr. Brinkley. This happened in 2024. Mr. Brinkley had this video for a while. He was waiting for the opportunity to present this video and show that he can trust somebody to take his case and move forward. So, Mr. Brinkley, we thank you for your bravery. You want to come up and speak to the meeting?
Yes, when the situation occurred, I never expected that to happen. I was fully compliant with the situation. I didn't think I provoked them or did anything wrong that would cause of, what happened to happen, I was shocked, I didn't expect that from the police officers, being as so I'm a normal citizen and whatnot. I figured, things would go by the book. I didn't resist, I didn't curse, I wasn't combative or anything, I totally complied, and what happens to me should not happen to anybody else.
And what did they call you? Did you remember?
I don't want to say that word, but it's the N word, but I let the public be the judge itself, but yeah, it was not right. It was totally wrong.
Yeah, and like we said, don't say no more, just watch the video, but also listen to the video in Mr. Brinkley's case. Listen what they say to him, how they describe him.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, they tell us, when we're in the court of law, you don't know what's going through that person's mind. Well, Dr. Newman, if they say certain things, you can make a fairly reasonable conclusion what's going through their mind when they identify a citizen with racial epithets. No more, JSO. Tell them to listen to it.
Listen to the recording, listen to the video. We in the House of Lords Good Friday. We ain't gonna repeat what was said, but you can imagine what was said. But one thing, Man, you have a African American sheriff where you have his subordinates treating his citizens of Duval County using racial epithets and slurs while they're beating them. If anybody's going to stop that, is a person who's over the organization.
Yeah.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Blind eye.
You would think so.
We're gonna have detectives,
Okay.
Kim
We do
Faulkner.
Q&A.
Varner.
Detective Varner is gonna address you, and then we're gonna take your questions if you have any. Detective Varner was a lawyer deputy for JSO for over 2 decades. So please share your insight from these videos, Detective Varner.
Well, I want to start off by saying it's not a proud moment for me. I'm not happy to be here because I love my sheriff's office. But when they're doing wrong injustice everywhere, I mean, anywhere is injustice everywhere. So that's how I was raised. So I got to speak out against it. You know, I can't sit back and keep letting this happen. I got to say something against it. And what those officers did, there was no reason for the violence that was used in that video. It's like Bianca said, it's when you comply and the officers take take it in their own hands to be the judge, jury, and the executioner and all. That's just wrong, and that's why I got to speak out against it. I can't sit back and just let that happen. I got to speak out against that. So,
No, thank you. You know, it's really deep. Where is it in the policy of JSO that you get to kick a person who's face down and restrained? That is a question for the media to ask the sheriff. Where's that policy? I mean, when you face down on the ground, restrained, and they kick you repeatedly in your face, you wouldn't do that to a dog, but they're doing it to the citizens and saying it's okay. No more, JSO, no more. If you have any questions, Attorney Daniels and I will try to address them.
Obviously, you've dealt with a lot of high-profile cases all over the country, dealing with police brutality. When you guys call Jacksonville Sheriff's Office one of the most violent departments you've ever seen, oh, thank you so much. Can you speak a little bit more about that
Go
specifically?
through all the whole history here.
Like how they compare to other departments over the country?
Well, so first and foremost, most of the departments across the country don't investigate themselves. That is when you don't have a true accountability and you have a cold case unit that's doing the investigation, it's very rarely they find, if you go through JSO Transparent portal, and you go through that portal and look at it and see how many cases they determined not to be unjustified or exonerated or things of that capacity. When you look at that, it's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot. Some of these cases are clear. We're not talking, right here, we're talking about excessive use of force. You gotta be mindful, Jacksonville has a lot of cases dealing with shooting deaths. Shooting death cases. It's some of the cases that I can go through, but for the sake of time, I won't. When you have cases, I think it was one case of Mr. Biggs some years ago where he was shot in the back of the head running from the police. And you had 10 witnesses said that he was shot in the back of the head running from the police. And guess what? They justified because one officer said that Mr. Biggs turned around and looked at him. 10 versus 1. No indictment, no presentment to the grand jury, nothing. When you have that custom and you have that policies where nothing is happening, then that fosters this type of behavior. It's almost like you growing up and you never get in trouble, your mom never punished you for doing anything. You will keep doing it. And that's how it has developed into this. You know, when you compare other cities across the nation versus Jacksonville, to me personally, this is the worst one. Ben may have a different perspective.
I certainly think that when you look at the tantamount of evidence, not subjective, but objective evidence, not evidence that we're asking you to try to draw inferences from, but what you get to see with your own eyes. You look at William McNeil's video. You look at the video of Dasaun Williams. You look at the video of Travis Brinkley. You take those three, and we can offer just double that amount of videos that are just as appalling. That is what makes Jacksonville unique in their use of excessive unconstitutional force. It's not rivaled by other police departments in America, where you see over and over police officers brutalizing citizens and there is no accountability. There is nothing that happens to these officers. And that is the pattern in practice. Yes.
Looking at the police reports, didn't seem to indicate that there was any force-like issues. Could you talk a little bit about what you like to see when it comes to police officers reporting what actually happened on the scene? Also, there was a video that they produced about this operation, which didn't include, obviously, this incident. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you know, and I'll speak first and let Attorney Daniels address your question. It's about transparency first. Transparency. Let everybody see. If you're proud of what conduct and actions your police are taking, then let everybody see it. You should be proud. You should be able to stand up and say it with your chest. This is our police department, and we are proud of their actions. And if you're not being transparent, then that means you're hiding something. And if you're trying to hide something, then there's a reason why you're trying to hide something. Because you know in your heart of hearts that it is a violation of the Constitution. The fact that they are trying to hide the ball tells you they know that it's not right. And so when you think about Dasaun Williams, I mean the kicks in the face, there is no way you can stand up and say that is constitutional use of force. And so I think your question was about reports. It really goes back to what Ida B. Wells said 100 years ago. The killers and the abusers are writing the reports. They're writing the police reports. And thank God for the fourth estate of the Constitution, the media. You all have to keep showing it. What I said about Attorney Daniels and I, when we see it, we refuse to look away. We will confront these evil actions. Because if you don't confront evil, then you're condoning it. And we do not condone the kind of police brutality that is happening in Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. No God-fearing citizen should condone that. No person who calls themselves Mora Dr. Newman should condone what we see in those videos. In the name of Jesus, everybody should be confronting what we see in the videos. Attorney Daniels?
Thank you, Attorney Crump. That was an omission by intention, as they put that video out to show that operation. They excluded operation that they would have seen. We would have saw Mr. Dasaun Williams brutally beaten. The reports, their policies, and that's why we got a pattern practice lawsuit that's going on right there, the custom practice in the William McNeil case, is that their policy, if a person don't report an injury, then they don't have to report it. They don't have to take it to the hospital. In this case, obviously, in Mr. Williams' case, you saw him bleeding, vomit on the ground. Did y'all see his face? Fractured jaw. How can you not do a use of force report in that? You got to do. How can you not do a use of force report? Those are things that are intentionally done, that's left out to deceive the citizens. Now, it may be some people look at this video and say, hey, he got what he deserved. I ain't talking to you. You don't believe in the Constitution, because the Constitution applies to all. Due process applies to all. Even though some people trying to take due process away, it applies to all. But that's a very good question. That's a question that I think you should ask TK Waters, why they omitted a video, or why there's no use of force documentations there per his policy. That's a great question.
Do you also plan on releasing the body cam footage as well?
Oh, I released it already. It's already out. The entire body camera's out for Mr. Brinkley
Yeah.
case and Mr. Williams. It's out. It's out.
If you go to press@bencrump.com, we'll get you all the videos.
The sheriff has only said, you know, this is under administrative review.
Let me ask you, please.
He's
please.
talked before about transparency and spoken,
You
since
know,
this
that's
is a,
different, bro.
the civil rights case, he said, this is under administrative review.
We ain't got to
This is their thought.
You got me and Attorney Crump up here. So y'all remember the William and Neal case when they talked about it? William and Neal didn't release the video at all. They didn't start to do the review then. Well, this is different. This is different. At the time, Mr. Williams was subjected to use of force, where his jaw was broken, bleeding, fractured, entered into the Duval County, is it Duval County Sheriff Office, Jacksonville Sheriff Office?
Yeah, JSO.
Going JSO, injured, went to the hospital. His words, not mine. That would prompt for internal affairs review. This happened in 2000 what?
2005,
November
November 7th.
November 7, 2025. It is April. And they just now doing the internal review? Attorney Crump, you can.
Obviously, the question begs for the truth to be revealed. And I know it sounds like a chant, but really at this point, we don't need to say no more. Just everybody watch the video and say, Sheriff, apply your policy to this video. That's it. Apply whatever policies that you put forth on paper. Not what you actually do, but apply what you put on paper. Apply it. You know, when we're in law school, they teach us that there's de facto and there's de jure. De jure is theory, what they say they're gonna do per policy in written policy. But de facto is what they actually do in reality. And we know, based on the number of cases, that what they put in writing is different from what they do. Any other questions? Last one.
I know in the past, JSO has defended their actions, saying that these people are dangerous. So how would you respond to that?
Well, look at the video. Look at the video. Just look at the video. Everybody is face down and still being kicked and punched and kneed. And I mean, like Miss Williams said, whatever you accuse my son of, you don't have the right to be the judge, the jury, and executioner. The Fifth Amendment still applies. This concept called due process of the law. We are not a police state in America. We still have a constitution that must govern our conduct. And the fact that the Fifth Amendment seems to be obsolete in Jacksonville, Florida is the problem.
JSO say they're dangerous. You know who also was dangerous? Dylan Roof went into a church kind of like this and killed 9 people. And when they got him, they gave him a Whopper meal.
No injury.
Killed 9 black people in a church. In South Carolina, they gave him a Whopper meal. You had 12 officers. That's called show of force. On the scene with 1 man who was compliant. There's nothing dangerous about that. It doesn't matter what he has been accused of or potentially being charged with. That doesn't negate the fact that at the time, you gotta look at the force that's required to do your job, right, detective? And if that force is overboard, that's an excessive, unlawful use of force. Point blank, period. No question about it. Dylan Roof killed 9 people, get Burger King. So that begs the difference. What is the real animus behind here? Listen to his recording, you're gonna find out. The real animus is that black men in Jacksonville get beat before they get an opportunity to go to court.
Exactly.
It is what it is. All right.
Thank you all. We will continue to update you again if you need the video. You can reach out to press@bencrump.com and we will get it to you immediately. Dr. Newman?
Yeah, and I want to ask this question real quickly. I think it's important, otherwise you have first-time members sitting here at the press conference. This is what, the third or fourth one we've had? And,
On video.
no, yeah,
This
third or fourth
year.
press conference we've had. Here's the issue I want to raise though. The framing oftentimes is to paint these as a broad brush. Because of accountability, that means you're anti-police. And the issue is not anti-police. The issue is holding those accountable who break the law or who impose on the rights of citizens. And I think the framing is important because people like to dismiss these press conferences. They're just anti-police. No, it's about accountability.
Thank you, Dr. Newman, and hopefully, as we continue to say, don't take our word for it. Just watch the video, because there are certain people. There's nothing we can say that would convince them. They just got to see it for themselves. And I pray if they are God-fearing citizens, if they're God-fearing and they believe what the Bible says about justice, then they won't condone this. They won't condone this. Thank you. We'll keep you informed. Dasaun Williams, Travis Brinkley, and of course, William McNeil. We won't let them sweep these acts of brutality under the rug. Thank you. Don't say no more, just watch the video.
Watch the video.
Don't say no more.
Watch the video.
Don't say no more.